Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Russell Cephas. I'm a certified missiologist. I want to speak with you today about my newest video. It's entitled The Politics of Coronavirus. That's right, the politics of coronavirus. The coronavirus is an infectious disease that the Trump administration knew about as early as December 2019. However, the President of the United States had no knowledge that this virus, this deadly virus, would have such a negative effect on both his political standing and the major economic systems of America. The President of the United States was aware of the coronavirus long before the citizens of America knew anything about the coronavirus. In fact, America had been one of the nations who actually funded the laboratory in Wuhan, where the virus was being experimented with. All of the particulars have not been uncovered as of yet. All of the mysterious activities behind the coronavirus have not been disclosed. This deadly virus was known about way before Americans had any knowledge about the coronavirus. America had its hands on and in the development of testing and experimental situations with the coronavirus before it became an infectious disease, killing thousands upon thousands of people throughout America and around the world. To date, over 185 nations have been affected by the coronavirus. To date, about 3 million people have contracted the coronavirus. And to date, almost 60,000 Americans have died because of the coronavirus. Americans and others, leading scientists, have projected that not only 60,000, but many, many, many more thousands will die as a result of this infectious disease we come to know as COVID-19. The President of the United States, the government, had partially financed the experimental projects with the coronavirus in mid-2019. In January 2020, the White House all but ignored the emails and other forms of communications that came in warning of the potential danger of the coronavirus. And President Trump and others treated the virus as a host, as something fictitious, something that did not exist. In fact, on occasions, he actually made fun and light of what we know today as a serious, devastating, deadly disease. Late in February, the President of the United States made fun of the killer virus, telling people at one of his political rallies that by April it would be warm and the virus would simply go away. It would disappear. My friends, It has not gone away, and it has not disappeared. It would just go away by itself without any vaccination, without any medical intervention. This was a mistake. There was a statement that had more to do. This was a statement that had more to do with politics than it had to do with the science of virology. The president's political position was to stay with his persistence of denial about the reality of the coronavirus. His reality or lack of reality led to longer delay in acting in the best interest and benefit of the American citizenship, to save their lives rather than to preserve and forward his political career. His denial led to delay, which led to tens of thousands of people, American people, dying that did not have to die. By the 1st of March, Americans were dying, and most of the country realized that the coronavirus was a serious disease. On March 11th, 2020, the president of the World Health Organization declared that the coronavirus was a pandemic and a global health crisis to mankind on planet Earth. By this time, hundreds of people were dying. Thousands of people were dying. And the coronavirus was spreading like wildfire across America and around the world. President Trump tried to convince the Americans' citizenship that everything was under control. Everything would be okay. That the coronavirus was like a flu and no serious intervention needed to take place. And so his persistence in denial led to further delay, and even more people died as a result. Early March was the ideal time for the President of the United States to execute and exercise his presidential power, his presidential influence, by enacting the Power of Production Act of 1950. The President of the United States has the authority to implement the Production Act of 1950 in the event that he feels that the citizenry of America is under severe threat. This act allows the President of the United States to produce and to distribute critically needed goods and supplies, and for the security of the nation to be sound. All the desperately needed medical equipment, medical supplies could be produced in mass quantities and distributed to hospitals, to doctors, and to people in desperate, dire need of medical attention. The general public opinion was then and still is now that the president, for some reason, has not treated the matter with the urgency, with the criticality that he should. It was as if it was okay for people to die. if it did not have a negative effect on its political standing or on the country's financial position. It's not okay for human beings to die for the advancement of one's political plight and political cause. I'm talking to you today about the politics of coronavirus. The questions that many people asked was politics and money more important than the lives of Americans? They asked that question a few months ago, and they're asking that question still today. What's more important? Political posturing and positioning for re-election, financial gain and upward mobility of the stock markets, or the life of Americans? Were the citizens of America being devalued over money and his own political aspirations? When the President of these United States of America is sworn into office, he takes a pledge. He takes a serious pledge to protect the people of America. For more than 5 decades now, conservatives, and I might add white conservatives, have convinced Americans of the value and of the importance of life. They've done so through the efforts concerning abortion. They've said to us for more than 50 years, the life inside the person is sacred and is not to be thrown away for convenience. But however, we see something new. We see something different. We see a shift in their mentality, a shift in their position. The same conservative whites are now posturing a position, a new philosophy, that now politics is greater than life, that the economic fabric and upward mobility of America is more important than life. Now, we're able to see clearly the values that these individuals hold. Many of them are wealthy people with great investments in the stock market, great investments, and they're losing millions and millions of dollars. And now there's a sudden shift in their thinking, a sudden shift in their convictions that life is not more valuable, life is not more important than financial gain. With the sudden shift from protecting the life of American citizens to a total disregard and disconnect, many people ask the question, what has changed? Was this the same deadly virus, or was it a different virus? Was this the same virus by the name of Corona, or was this a different virus? What had really changed? Was this the virus today that 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, the American citizens were all but mandated to stay inside, to quarantine themselves? Even the slogan became popular throughout America: stay inside and stay alive. What has changed today? Is there anything different today than it was 6 weeks ago? My friends, I tell you, there is nothing different except for political posturing, a political change, financial loss. These are the only two things that have definitely changed in America. Had the virologists discovered something different about this viral infection? Had the epidemiologists discovered something different about the deadly effects of this contagious disease? No. In fact, that they have discovered was that now the coronavirus, they've discovered is 50% of those who have contracted the coronavirus are asymptomatic, making the coronavirus more deadlier, more sinister, more life-threatening than ever before. The coronavirus was more dangerous now than it was 6 weeks ago. So, why have people changed their mind? It's politics, my friend. The same governors throughout America of a number of different states that caution, that warn their people of their individual states to stay inside and stay alive. Now the same governors, the same politicians have changed their mind. They've done a 360 and about face. Many of them are allowing people in their individual states to go back to work, to engage in the normal activities of their work day as they did 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, 3 months ago, against the advice, the sound medical advice of those in authority. What is that medical advice? The medical advice is that they should not go back outside. They should not go back to their workplaces until they have seen for 3 weeks consecutively a decrease in coronavirus in those respective states. But none of the states have seen a decrease, but yet they're going back to work. They're sending people back to work, and many, many people will die. None of the doctors suggest that they should go back. None of the nurses suggest that they should go back. None of the expertise in the area of epidemiology or virology or medical science say they should go back. None of the doctors working in emergency rooms and nurses that are by their side suggest that they should go back outside and engage in regular routine activities. Again, it's too soon. All of them say that there will be a spike. There will be an increase in a few months. And the emergency rooms that are still jam-packed will be overloaded with people that have contracted the coronavirus. What has really changed? The decision was a political decision. This decision is a financial decision. This was not a humanitarian decision, but rather a political and financial one. The coronavirus had disrupted and had devastating effects on the global economy and on the economy of the United States of America. The stock market fell through and was at worst standing that it's ever had in the history of the stock market. Millions and millions of people are losing their wealth, losing their investments. And it was determined by the wealthy, let's put America back to work again. Otherwise, we'll lose our financial investments. This is a decision where money is greater than the value of human life. Lowered the evaluation of financial markets. These financial markets were lowered and people were intimidated and threatened. In addition, it affected business investments, household consumption. With 80 million people staying inside, they can't spend money. So household consumption went down. And then international trade, big money could not be made, and America was sinking. And so a decision had to be made. Do we devalue human life and gain our position again financially? There are currently 52 million adults 65 years of age and older. This is a targeted population. The coronavirus is affecting them more than any other population. This represents 20% of the American population. These are the people that are dying fast. Now, I don't want to suggest anything sinister, but the reality is these 52 million people cannot contribute, and often do not contribute, to the prosperity of the nation, but rather month after month they receive a check from the government. Are they disposable because they do not contribute financially? I suggest that they're still human beings. They're still valuable. They're still made in God's image. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the best way to deal with a dangerous, contagious disease is to isolate them. Isolate people from one another. We call it social distancing. Somebody tell me what has changed. Has the coronavirus changed? No. Do we have a new medication or vaccination for the coronavirus? No. Are people still dying in large numbers from the coronavirus? Yes. There are only two factors that have governed the political decision, and that is the president's ratings have changed, plummeted. The financial devastation of America has put pressure to send 80 million people unemployed back to work again. I'm afraid that these factors have forced good people to make bad decisions. It is sad to say, but this is the politics of coronavirus. God bless you.